Hi, I'm Cindy Bertram. Thanks for joining me today on Good Ship Happens. And yes, we've got a lot of exciting things coming up even at the end of this year. One example is Carnival Cruise Line. Their Carnival Jubilee is actually going to be debuting christened on December 23rd in Galveston, Texas. And she'll be sailing year round from Galveston, Texas, to Cozumel, Costa Maya, Roatan, Honduras, which is great. So once again, sometimes you think about, okay, what's a good Christmas present? Well, in my case, it would be going on a cruise. But with the Carnival Jubilee, her being christened on December 23rd from Galveston, Texas, as mentioned before, a lot of cruise lines are offering different places for their ships to depart from in the US, which is great, more options to consider. But with Galveston, Texas, it's another cruise port that's growing like crazy. But once again, we have the Carnival Jubilee that will be christened on December 23rd next week in Galveston, Texas. I'm sure that the ship is sold out by now, but definitely keep in mind for 2024, okay? And then another new ship coming out is Icon of the Seas. Icon of the Seas is part of Royal Caribbean's Corporation, Royal Caribbean International cruise line. And Icon of the Seas, I think I mentioned, is the biggest ship ever built. Yes, big. But they're doing a lot of good things with that ship. And also, what they did announce just this week, I think it was probably yesterday or today, but normally, as I mentioned, we've got usually a godmother that christens the ship. Okay. And the case with Celebrity Cruises is Celebrity Scent, which is just christened on December 1st, had two co-godmothers, okay, which is good. But what they decided to do is, and this was just announced for Royal Caribbean, they are going to have a godfather christen their ship, Icon of the Seas. So that's kind of fun. And as far as the godfather, the godfather is actually Lionel Messi. He's actually an Argentinian soccer superstar, and he's going to be the godfather of Icon of the Seas. She will be christened on January 23rd in Miami. And what they're doing is, normally, as I mentioned, we have usually a godmother christen the ship. Sometimes we have godfathers, but in this case, Royal Caribbean decided to give him a contemporary title. He's going to be Icon of the Icon. And the naming ceremony is going to take place on January 23rd, 2024 in Miami. And as mentioned with Lionel Messi, he's actually the Times 2023 Athlete of the Year. And also, he had actually been a leading national part of the leading soccer team for the first World Cup winners in 2022. Then he relocated, transferred to Inter Miami, Major League in soccer in 2023. But once again, they just announced he's going to be the icon of the seas. So once again, just a great thing, I think, to talk about too. Something else that just came up as far as godmothers. We have another godmother, and coming up with the Avalon Waterways, their Avalon Lagrina is going to be christened. They just named the godmother for that. It's going to be Sherry Arteri. She's actually Saturday Night Live's actress and also comedian, and she's going to be the godmother of the new Avalon Alegria. Not sure when this will be christened 2023, 2024, of course, too. But once again, it's kind of fun to hear about different ships and godfathers and godmothers. And that's always fun to hear about, too. So definitely keep that in mind because, once again, although I wasn't at the christening of the Celebrity Scent, I've been at previous christenings myself. It's just such a great, great, great experience. Save entertainment, life entertainment, and just amazing what they do. And it's like I said, it's just a way to actually christen the ship. And it's just a tradition that's been going on for years and years and years. So definitely keep that in mind, too. As far as Princess Cruises, I think I mentioned it before, what they're doing is they've got a new partnership and they've got a new ship coming out, which is going to debut in February of 2024. So another ship coming out in February 2024. That is their Sun Princess. and they did a it goes back to their passion, but they've got like an impromptu bistro. It's going to be called the Butcher's Block by Dario on board the Next Generation Sun Princess, which is going to debut in February of 2024. So that's just, in 2 months, which is great. So keep that in mind because there are so many different wonderful options as far as experiencing things on cruise ships, as far as dining and different things to really, really explore and entertain yourself too. I think I mentioned this before, but another ship coming out is it's American Cruise Lines, and I think I mentioned this before, but what they did was on November 28th, American Glory, which is American Cruise Lines Coastal Cat, yes, they call it Coastal Cat ship, just started sailing November 28th from Maryland to Florida, and they're going to be operating their newest brand new Florida Gulf Coast and Key cruises from late December into 2024. And also with the American Glory, in addition to her new popular Florida itinerary, she'll be also offering a slate of different U.S. itineraries across the East Coast throughout 2024. And it really blends the luxury of river cruising with access and adventure to expedition cruising and only visiting U.S. ports of call. And as mentioned before, when the pandemic hit, of course, cruising was put on a hold, and also the cruise lines had to go through different protocols with the Center for Disease Control, but they got through that too. But sometimes people still were hesitant about issues flying overseas. And with American Queen Cruise Lines, American Cruise Lines, they are U.S. owned, family owned, and also they have their own separate company that builds their ships. They are smaller ships, and capacity on the American Glory is just 100 guests. And the American Glory actually has 4 different decks, showcases a new catamaran bow, and this new small ship offers a really, really elegant interior design and also private balcony accommodations. Also includes special spacious single and double occupancy staterooms as well as suites. So keep that in mind. And the American Glory does have a top deck for beautiful views and lounges both inside and outside. Also, main restaurant, casual cafe, and a fitness center. And what they're doing is, I know that with American Cruise Lines, they have other ships that are going to be being built under their Coastal Cats category. So it's a new category ship that American Cruise Lines is building and launching very successfully. Their second one is the American Glory, and she has started to sail on November 28th, so just not quite a month ago. So definitely keep that in mind too, because if you're looking for something that might be easier to do, definitely keep that in mind too. You don't know, because once again, it's just another experience. If you think about taking a cruise, maybe you're nervous about sailing on the ocean. I'm not. The ocean really, really relaxes me, but definitely keep that in mind, because we've got some beautiful cruise lines that offer sailings within the U.S. on the rivers, etc. And American Cruise Lines is one. They're fantastic. And as mentioned, family owned. So definitely keep that in mind too. And if you think about the word Coastal Cat, that's kind of a catchy name for their category ships too. But definitely think about maybe doing a Coastal Cat. Something else that I wanted to make sure that people knew about, as mentioned, Princess Cruises has their Sun Princess coming out in February of this next year, 2024. But also they've got another ship that will be a sister ship to the Sun Princess. It's called the Star Princess. And what they're doing is the Star Princess, and they just announced this, today. They actually are going to be they just appointed captains for Star Princess. Okay, and they've got 2 captains who will be serving as the masters of their Sensational Sphere class new ship, Sun Princess. And as mentioned, this just came up today. So once again, with the Sun Princess, they're going to be having, the Star Princess. Okay, it's a second class ship. Sun Princess comes out in February this next year, 2024. The Star Princess is their next ship coming out, but they just announced they're going to have 2 co-captains for the Star Princess. So that's kind of fun too. And with the two co-captains, I know that Commodore Nick Nash is actually a 33-year veteran with Princess Cruises, and he was promoted to Commodore Line's Global Fleet in 2020, and he currently serves as captain of the Emerald Princess, which is fun. And also, they've got Captain Gennaro, I think it's Gennaro Arma, is also very, very passionate about, of course, the sea. And he began his Crown Princess cruises back in 1998 as a cadet, and they moved up into the ranks, including his first command as captain of Sea Princess in 2015, where he really, really navigated the ship in world cruises. And then he took at the helm of the Diamond Princess in 2018. And then in 2020, he was actually, in recognition of Commodore of the Order of Merit. And once again, trying to think what else about him too, but just once again, he most recently served as the captain of Discovery Princess. And he was born in Italy, and where he lives with his wife. But the Star Princess will be debuting in 2025. And once again, they have two co-captains for that ship coming out in 2025. So definitely keep that in mind too, because once again, I know I mentioned before with the two co-captains for the Celebrity Ascent, they are brothers, the first ones in the whole industry that are brothers that are co-captains. What they do is they're taking different ships. Found a little bit more. The one co-captain will be running the ship for 3 months, and his brother will be running the ship for the other 3 months. So doing shifts too. That's kind of fun that we're having a lot of fun things going on in the cruise industry as far as double co-captains and co-godmothers. And another fun thing, as I mentioned before, is we've got some godfathers as well as godmothers. Yes. As far as how they select a godmother, I know people ask me that all the time. It depends. It really does depend. Sometimes they pick somebody that they want to recognize for phenomenal things, like the two co-godmothers for the Celebrity Ascent. Something else that came up too is sometimes there are people in the industry. I know that one cruise line really is adamant about that too. When they select people that have been leaders in the travel advisory industry, and sometimes they pick those as the captains. Okay. But it's just, I think, what an honor to be named as the godmother. Something else is with MSC Cruises, which is family owned by the MSC Group, but MSC Cruises, what they do is they always have Sophia Loren, the actress, as their godmother. Yes, it's just kind of tradition. Last year, when I was at the christening of their newest ship in December, she was there virtually because she lives overseas. She was there virtually, and then they had somebody else actually do the physical champagne cutting with the captain of the ship too. But once again, it goes back to they go through different criteria when they think about how they're going to christen the ship too. So definitely keep that in mind because it's just such an exciting thing to be at. I've been at a couple christenings myself. One I remember too was actually with Norwegian Cruise Line when they had Pitbull christen the ship. That took place in Miami, and then he gave a half-hour concert after that, which is great. So, but just it's a great, great way to really welcome in the new ship. It's a way to kind of continue that tradition too. And something else too is another new ship that was just christened recently, December 11th, so earlier this week, was the christening ceremony of the new Regent Seven Seas. Their newest ship is the Seven Seas Grandeur. And it's really the most, with Regent Seven Seas, they're a really, really luxury cruise line. And they had their naming ceremony by godmother Sarah Fabergé. She's actually the great granddaughter of the famed Peter Carl Fabergé, and his egg designs have become synonymous with luxury for more than a century. And on December 10th, actually, it took place with the christening. It took place at Pierside, highlighted by Regent Seven Seas president, Andrea DeMarco. And she's been leading the brand since taking on that role as the president of Regent Seven Seas in January 2023. Fantastic person. I've actually have met her via virtually. And she's really the first woman to hold that position in Regent's history. And with DeMarco, she actually kicked off the event's welcoming guests, and that included the cruise line and shipyard executives and media, travel advisors, agents, past passengers, as well as various VIPs. And once again, she just mentioned that different speeches and things that kind of came out too. And with the Fabergé egg, it'll become the first Fabergé egg that's permanently displayed at sea. And the egg, which features colors of the sea, will be live on deck 5 of the Seven Seas Grandeur. So definitely keep that in mind too. And with us all complete, then Fabergé pulled the cord from the stage in the Constellation Theater, and that released the John a bottle of champagne. That's how they christened the ships. And then the bottle break was then followed by a performance from Broadway and TV star Kristen Chenoweth. It was so amazing. I wasn't there, of course, but Kristen Chenoweth has performed, and just a fantastic person to listen to. And what they did was, the cruise line ship christening naming ceremony is really a maritime long held tradition that welcomes the ship to the fleet, and it's really, really just a way to really successfully christen. It brings luck to that ship. It's more like a superstition that's a successful christening brings luck to the ship and those who sail on it too. So keep that in mind too. And then once again with Seven Seas Grandeur, it's the third ship in that cruise line's Explorer class of ships, which includes their Seven Seas Explorer and also their Seven Seas Splendor. And these ships, these Explorer class ships under Regent Seven Seas, do feature multiple dining experiences. They have marble and crystal everywhere, extensive art collections, and also they're really the most expensive suites at sea. And once again, it goes back to um, they have, of course, their suites are a little bit expensive, of course, but once again, it's very luxury. Okay, and with their top line suites, those include 2 bedrooms, an in-suite Steinway piano, a bed that features a mattress, and different things like that too. So definitely keep in mind too if you're looking for something more luxury, because once again, another fun thing that took place earlier, December 10th, was the christening of the Regent Seven Seas new Explorer ship. Of course, she was blessed, and that was the Seven Seas Grandeur to its fleet. And with christening coming up too, I think I mentioned this before in a previous episode, but once again, when we think about Christmas, cruise lines tend to sell up, especially if you're looking for a Caribbean cruise, so it's tend to sell a little bit more than other times of the year. But something came up too is I had a person reach out to me. She knows I'm the cruise expert, and we talked about different cruises that would fit for her. She wanted to go with her family on a cruise, but she actually did find something on the holidays, which is great. So I'm really hoping she has a great time, and then she'll let me know when she gets back. But one thing that came up too is we talked about Christmas markets before. With Christmas markets, those are over. We've got Christmas markets that are over in Europe, and one is Riverside Luxury Cruises. They've got Christmas on the Danube. So if you're looking for a short sailing to maybe do beginning or the to tack on to the beginning of the trip, you can actually then do a 4-night Danube River sailing that starts in Vienna and ends in Germany. And with their ship, the Riverside Luxury Cruise on the Danube, what's great too is the majority of the trip is really spent in Austria with ports in Vienna, Krems, Melk, and Linz before its final day in Passau, Germany. And in Vienna, you can actually visit one of the top 100 city's top 100 museums or visit the iconic Opera House before heading to the Christmas market for maybe a glass of mulled wine and some shopping. And for people interested in wine, Krems is a must-see sophistication destination known for some of the best wines in the country. And then people are going to really enjoy that Christmas market too. So definitely keep in mind that was just one with Riverside Luxury Cruises. They're relatively new. They officially launched earlier this year after they bought some ships from a cruise line that went under. Crystal Cruises had some River Cruise Line ships, and Riviera River Cruises purchased those 4 ships. And each ship with the Riverside Luxury Cruises is all suite, It comes with butler service. Yes, butler can take care of your needs. The ships have indoor pools and a jacuzzi to use before or after your trips ashore. So definitely keep it in mind. And with Riverside Luxury Cruises Christmas atmosphere from the Danube, it's sailing right now mid December, and then into mid December 2024. Okay, and as mentioned, they give you one excursion per destination, complimentary, gratuities, Wi-Fi, butler service, and transfers are included in the cruise fare. So definitely keep that in mind too. And something else that came up with another cruise line is Adventure by Disney. Adventure by Disney's Rhine River Cruise, Christmas Cruise, is something kind of interesting. So if you've got a family maybe is interested in maybe taking a cruise, more family oriented, you can do something with Adventures by Disney. And once again, they've got their Christmas market cruises throughout Switzerland, France, Germany, and Netherlands that will be able to enjoy Disney's Rhine River Cruise Christmas market sailing. And the 8-day cruise allows kids as young as 5 years old to join, although Disney really suggests that maybe the children should be 8 years old older. And I think what really makes the Adventures by Disney stand out is they've got their adventure guides, which are actually Disney trained leaders who are experts in different areas in each destination. And with each adventure guide, they travel with a group throughout the cruise, so your family can really, really get to know them. They get to know you, which is great. And this really allows for personalized introductions about activities, meals. And as you walk through each town, they share the history of that town, which I think is fantastic, along with the culture and the legends and their destinations. So definitely keep that in mind too. If you're thinking about maybe you want to explore the rivers over in Europe, of course, sometimes we think, well, maybe that's more of an adult cruise, but definitely think about Adventures by Disney because this is really a great option to think about too. With Christmas coming up right now, it might be too late, but definitely think about that. Maybe in 2024. Viking Cruises is been around for a long time, very successful, and they were mentioned as being good for couples to enjoy Viking's Danube Christmas cruises. And what they do is they've got their Danube Christmas Delights River Cruise with Viking, and they go to 4 different countries. They go to Hungary, Slovakia, Austria, and Germany. And it really lets people combine the opportunities to explore the ports of call with lectures and cultural performances on board the ship too. And as mentioned, with Budapest, guests can spend 2 days discovering the city in places like Castle Hill and the Grand Market Hall before shopping and then dining at the Christmas market in front of St. Stephen's Basilica. And then what they do is in Vienna, Austria, the whole city really comes to life with lights and festive events. And one thing they mentioned not to miss is the extra charge excursion to a local winery. It's not included, but extra charge. You could maybe do that too if you want to. And like I said, I know that Viking offers the Danube River cruises, Christmas cruises from late November through mid-December in 2024, 2025. So definitely keep in mind too. And another one, if you're looking for another option, maybe for Christmas markets again too. These are river cruises, of course, but we've got, they've got Avalon Waterways has their festive time on the romantic Rhine River. And if you're looking for maybe a longer cruise that sails deep into the southern part of Europe, you might want to consider Avalon Waterways. It's called their festive time on the romantic Rhine River. It includes 1 night in Lucerne and also 3 nights in Lake Como. And then there are also festive time on the romantic Rhine River itineraries too. And once again, it just is a longer cruise. Usually they have 12-night cruises, a land-based trip, so guests can embark on the cruise ship in Amsterdam, and they can enjoy a day as far as exploring before boarding the ship. And then they're followed by an Amsterdam Canal cruise for day 2. And then the cruise departs from to Germany, and people can explore the Christmas markets in Cologne and Rietersham on days 3 and 4. And then day 5 is when guests can really just enjoy the Mons and see the Gutenberg Museum, or travel to Heidelberg to explore the Heidelberg Castle. And their final stop is in Switzerland, and guests can disembark from the ship on a motor coach tour, which starts in Mount Pilates, and then they ride a 7,000 feet up mountain on a gondola for incredible views too. So definitely keep that in mind. That's Avalon Waterways. Keep that in mind. Another one cruise line I love dearly is with AMA Waterways. They are also very successful, family owned. Great story behind them, but with AMA Waterways, and AMA means love, yes, but they do as they've got their gems of Southeast Europe. And with many river cruises that really traverse around the waters of France, Germany, and Austria, with AMA Waterways gems of Southeast Europe, this itinerary really takes guests to Bulgaria, Croatia, Hungary, Serbia, and Romania. And the 7-night cruise actually goes sails between Budapest and along the Danube River. And your sailing starts on the Budapest, and you need to arrive a day early if you want to plan to explore the city, because the cruise doesn't really offer excursions there. But once again, too, when you're thinking about taking a cruise, especially with cruises in Europe, definitely think about going a day or two earlier. Sometimes the river cruise lines offer those too. Definitely keep that in mind, because once again, when you're flying to Europe, sometimes the flight's a bit tough to get, and if you're flying all the way from Europe from the US, it's very tiring. So you want to be able to relax flying a day or two earlier too. And in this case, with this one, as mentioned, with Budapest, they don't offer any excursions there. But once again, it might be good to maybe go in a day earlier and continue to just explore that too. And with AMA Waterways, they've got their gems of Southeast Europe. Those depart on multiple different dates between November and late December in 2024 too. And with AMA Waterways, their fares do include Wi-Fi, wellness activities, daily entertainment, cultural performances, all meals, all drinks at lunch and dinner, plus a daily cocktail hour, excursions in each destination, and also access to their knowledgeable guides too. So once again, if you ever consider maybe trying to do maybe a Christmas market river cruise, 2024 is a great time to think about it right now, because once again, gives you time to plan in advance, figure out your flight schedule. Definitely think about maybe flying in a day or two earlier, because once again, if you're going to be flying that long, go to Europe, it's good to really explore everything you can see if you want to. And once again, there's so many options out there, because with Disney, they've got their family friendly option. And then also, you've got just choose a cruise that's placed on the destinations you want to go to, and then also the travel dates kind of fit where you want to go, when you want to go to. Because once again, the inclusions on most river cruises are similar. Once again, they vary in scope, of course. Sometimes what drinks are included, what are ones that are extra cost, how many complimentary shore excursions you can get. But usually with the river cruises over in Europe, they give you at least one river cruise excursion for every port they go to. Sometimes they have multiple choices. So think about that when you think about maybe trying to do a Christmas cruise next year in 2024. But definitely think about the river cruise lines over in Europe, because they provide wonderful, wonderful options to think about too. So definitely keep that in mind, because if Christmas is around the corner, it's probably too late to do that right now. But definitely think about that maybe in 2024. As mentioned, I mentioned a bit about Princess Cruises, of course, with their Star Princess coming out. That's got the 2 co-captains. But something else that Princess just mentioned too is Princess Cruises is well known for Alaska. And what they decided to do is, they just announced this yesterday, is they've been known as a leader in Alaska vacations for several years. What they did was they just announced yesterday a very exclusive Katmai National Park cruise tour for the 2024 season, and it's going to go deeper, more up close encounter with the wildlife in Alaska. They just announced it, and on sale right now. It's on sale right now. They've got this 9-day Katmai National Cruise Tour, which includes 2 nights in Anchorage And I guess have a chance to really embark on an intimate bear watching experience at Brooks Fall in, I think it's pronounced Katmai National Park. But it's really a unique experience to, I think, go through too, because once again, it takes you to travelers to the heart of Alaska's wilderness, allows them to really witness the magnificent creatures on the natural habitat before they actually then sail on a 7-night Voyage of the Glaciers cruise. And this includes a great visit to the Glacier Bay National Park, also the spectacular glacier viewing of the College Fjord or Hubbard Glacier. And Hubbard Glacier is just absolutely phenomenal, beautiful too. And also, the cruise tour just features some other ways for guests to really experience Alaska's premier wildlife with the Conservation Center, which is located just outside of Whittier. And this dedicated sanctuary really preserves Alaska's wildlife with conservation, education, research, and quality care. And guests can actually encounter moose, reindeer, wolves, lynx, and more. And this extraordinary cruise tour really is going to provide, I think, guests a deeper connection with the national wildlife and wonders of Alaska, which is beautiful, as well as the opportunity to really explore the pristine wildlife and majestic landscapes of the region. And it really is another way to really, really enjoy the wildlife in a very, very safe way. And also, I know that with Princess Cruises, with this announcement, they're going to have 32 cruise tours departing between June 8th and August 29th of 2024. So guests can really choose one of those 16 northbound Vancouver to Whittier for Anchorage and 16 southbound Whittier for Anchorage to Vancouver vacations, which combine 3 days in Anchorage with a scenic 7-day Voyage of the Glaciers cruise aboard Grand Princess, the Royal Princess, and the Sapphire Princess. And cruise tour guests will be flying to King Salmon from Anchorage to reach the Brooks Lodge for a day observing the large brown bears and welcoming the return of the sockeye salmon, also the dominant male bears, compelling for the most catching spots, and guests can really just enjoy hiking the scenic heights. They can do that. And also, lunch is provided, of course, midday, as well as the exclusive souvenir that has been designed just for Princess guests. And like I said, it's called the Katmai, I'm going to pronounce it correctly, but it's the National Park Cruise Tours. And it combines a 7-day cruise voyage, pre-glaciers cruise with 2-night stay in Anchorage, flights to and from Katmai National Park, and transfers. And once again, they've got their National Parks Cruise Tour departs for a 15-day adventure. And this is from Alaska's most breathtaking parks. Guests can have the opportunity to explore Glacier Bay, Denali, the Kanye Fjords National Parks, the Klondike Gold Rush National Historic Park in Skagway. And really, the experience combines a 7-day cruise scenic rail tour and also 8 nights on land, including stays at the tour princess-owned wilderness lodges too. So definitely keep that in mind, because once again, one thing that's kind of fun too is in 2024, this marks the 55th anniversary for Princess Cruises sailing to Alaska, and 7 ships are scheduled to depart from convenient home ports, including Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, and Vancouver, and Anchorage, of course, to Whittier. But yeah, 55th anniversary, this is a fantastic way to really, really kind of celebrate too. But definitely keep in mind, because once again, Princess Cruises does a wonderful job anyway, but also Alaska is just a beautiful place to go to. I've been there myself. I do want to go back there sometime. It was gorgeous. I saw whales first night I was actually doing my Alaskan cruise. And of course, it's just wonderful to really, really, I think, kind of explore that too. So definitely keep that in mind, because once again, the cruise line experience for Alaska is fantastic. And the Alaska season usually starts the first part of May goes through maybe first part of September. Then the ships relocate other areas because it gets too cold and ice. But definitely keep it in mind to think about that too. Mark, any questions for me or not?
Hey, another great show, another great thing. But one of the shows we do before you on some days, sometimes it's right before you, is a show about interior designing. And one of the
Yes.
things I was seeing was an article about how some of the cruises allow you to do cruise door decoration. So they were talking about how it's not just exploring new destinations and enjoying onboard activities, but you can also express your creativity through cruise door decorations. In fact, cruise door decorating is an exciting way to showcase your personality and add a touch of uniqueness. Apparently, one of the cruise lines is, namely Norwegian. They banned door decorations back in
Mm,
2019, but a lot of the other ones actually allow it. And they were talking about some of the ideas that
right.
you could do, and all in that way that you can add your personal touch to your cabin. And some people like to do DIY, do it yourself kind of things. And
Mm,
sometimes there are some ideas that they have, including personalized magnets, door hangers, steamers, and banners, and definitely a number of other things that are ways that you can decorate. They even suggested some people might go to Pinterest or Etsy to get some ideas. But I was just wondering, on those various cruise lines that you've been on, and I know that there's great shops that are on the cruises as well, whether there were anything that you saw that really inspired you, because I even saw that some people might even have funny quotes on the boat, or maybe even some fish extenders as well. But I was just wondering, as you've been on a number of cruises, if there was
right.
anything that you saw that caught your eye, and if you've ever done it yourself, maybe you found
I've
a way
never
to
done
decorate.
it myself, but I've got a friend. She organizes groups. She's an amazing person. I mean, just such savvy. VIP vacation. She's phenomenal. But what she is she escorts groups in different kinds of cruises a lot with Europe too. But one thing that they used to do, I don't know if they still do it now, but usually if you had a group, you could actually put certain things on the doors of the staterooms, so you kind of get welcome too. You know,
Yeah,
but
one of the things they said is that you got to make sure that the decorations, of course, are
right,
flame retardant, and they did say that aside from Carnival, NCL, and Virgin Voyages banning door decorations of any kind, there
right,
are no official requirements for cruise door decorations to be fireproof or made from fire retardant material, but they're
right.
asking that you do that just for your own safety and all
Yes,
along those lines. But
right.
imagine particularly at the Christmas season, that there are probably people that are even decking their staterooms out the way that they would deck their homes out if they were on home trips and all along those lines. But it does seem like that could be a fun way to add your own personality and all along those lines. So that's just a quick question I had for you.
Yes,
I did have some videos for you, including one about that ship that you mentioned, Princess Cruise, as well as
yes.
one about a wine trip and the Alaska trip. So whenever
Oh
you're ready
yeah,
to see those videos,
definitely.
I've got the videos ready.
Okay, one thing I did want to mention too is when I was on the celebrity set for the pre-christening cruise, I disembarked on December 1st, but what they started to do is they started decorating the ship for Christmas.
Hmm.
And that is so fun. I've been on previous cruises. Usually I like to cruise myself, usually in November, December, first part of December. But how they decorate those ships is just phenomenal. Even when I saw them decorating the celebrity set, because I was on board the ship for 2.5 days, got on board on the 29th. And of course, instead of decorating that evening, the next day, things in their big atrium already decorated. It's gorgeous. I took pictures like crazy. In fact, I've used those on the front cover of my new holiday cards for some people. But how they decorate those ships is just amazing with trees and everything. It's just so much fun. And they do it so fast. Another thing that came up too a long time ago is doing a cruise, and we were cruising getting into the Christmas season, but we were actually docked in St. Thomas.
Hmm.
What they did was we left later that evening because they were doing their own Christmas tree lighting
Yep.
at St. Thomas, where people get off in their little areas as far as shopping too. They did the lighting of their Christmas tree. That was so much fun to watch that going on too.
Hmm. Yeah, that
That
sounds
was
like that would be
amazing.
real fun.
So much fun to watch that. But how they decorate trees, and I know it was on a Crystal cruise back in 2016 when Crystal was still around. They have restarted with two ships. They're building more ships too. What they did was I got on board the ship right for Thanksgiving. We sailed out the day before Thanksgiving, and what they did was it was so fun how they decorated the ship for Christmas because they had this little deer with his hand like this, kind of like you can't go into this area of the bar.
Hmm.
Decorated with Christmas hand. It was so much fun to see that. It was just amazing.
Sounds like it. Sounds like that would be real fun. So that
It
sounds
was.
like
It
that'd
was
be
amazing.
great.
I loved it. I really loved it. Yes.
Cool. But like I said, if you want to, I do have a long video about the Princess Cruise. I got some other shorter ones as well, but we can check out one of the ones about Princess Cruise and some of the other short ones, including, actually, I think I'll show you this special one because you mentioned it earlier, and it's a short one. Let's check out a video about those Fabergé eggs.
Yes. Yes.
That was a Fabergé eggs from Regent.
Right, because Regent Seven Seas just christened their newest ship, the Seven Seas Grandeur, and they actually had the granddaughter, Sarah Fabergé, christen the ship, the great granddaughter of the famed Peter Carl Fabergé.
Yep.
And they've got, they just mentioned the article I found, it just kind of came out, but they just mentioned they've got their Fabergé egg, which is going to be the first one to be permanently displayed at sea. And the egg features the colors of the sea. It's going to be live on deck 5 of Seven Seas Grandeur. But how fun. My gosh. Amazing.
That would be fun and everything. And you mentioned it earlier, then they did do Star Princess. So I might do Star Princess, and then they've got the Sun Princess. That's the longer video. But let's check out Star Princess and it being christened and ready for the ship in 2025, and then maybe the longer one about the Sun Princess. But I've got both of those videos ready to go as well.
Yes.
So here's Star.
We're here at Fincantieri Shipyard in Monfalcone, Italy, and we had just laid the keel for the 17th Princess ship, the Star Princess. The Star Princess is the second ship in our new Sphere class, which includes the Sun Princess, which will take in delivery right here at Fincantieri in just 2 short months. It was also great today to announce Captain Arma as the first captain of the Star Princess. Captain Arma has been our brand representative in the shipyard, overseeing the Sun Princess for the last year. So taking that intelligence and wisdom, infusing it into the Star Princess will make it amazing.
It was a great honor for me today to be named captain of Star Princess.
We lay the keels of princess ships with the medallion ceremony, and it's always fun to drop that weld on that medallion into the hull of the ship, making it fundamental forever. The Sun and the Star represent the apex of the Princess experience. They are the biggest ships in our fleet, 4,300 guests, as well as the biggest ships ever constructed in Italy. This was really an important moment to be part of the construction of this newest ship, where it all comes together to create a magnificent Princess ship.
That's the one that's going to have the 2 co-captains too, I think. Oh, wait, no, wait. No, I think the Sun Princess is. Yeah, Sun Princess comes out first.
Yes.
And yes, right, yeah.
Star Princess will be later, but I do have some information on Sun Princess. This is the longer of the video, so let's check out this one as well.
Yes.
Princess Cruises is readying their largest cruise ship ever, the new Sun Princess, and we'll take you on a preview coming up on Talking Cruise. The all-new Sun Princess, the first Sphere-class vessel, might be a name from the past, but she takes Princess in a bold new direction. Based on the same XL platform from other ships in the Carnival Corporation family of brands, Sun Princess will be the largest ship ever constructed for Princess Cruises at 175,500 gross tons, 21 decks, and be able to accommodate over 4,300 guests. Powered by liquefied natural gas, many elements of the ship's construction and operation have been designed with the company's green cruising focus in mind. With a tremendous increase in size, guests can expect many past favorite venues on board, but there will also be an opportunity to introduce an array of new dining, relaxation, and entertainment spaces, including the Dome, a stunning multi-level complex which features an inviting pool during the day and transforms into a performance venue at night. Park 19 offers thrilling and fun family activities, including a ropes course featuring roll glider and a splash pad. Sun Princess will also have newly appointed stateroom and suites, including a new suite level called the Signature Collection. The Signature Collection will offer premium stateroom amenities and include access to the Signature Restaurant, Signature Lounge, and Signature Sun Deck, a private area of the sanctuary. Sun Princess is scheduled to arrive in February 2024 with an inaugural spring-summer season in the Mediterranean, followed by Eastern and Western Caribbean voyages out of Port Everglades, Florida in the fall of 2024. Thanks for watching our preview of the Sun Princess. Don't forget to like this video, turn on notifications, post your comments and questions, and subscribe for more Talking Cruise.
Beautiful.
That was fascinating, amazing, and everything. Hey, Cindy, sometimes you're talking about the kids having their fun, but sometimes you can go on a cruise and you just want some good old-fashioned adult fun. So I found this one that you might enjoy. It's only 30 seconds, but it's about a wine cruise. So
great.
Check this out.
Yes. Beautiful too, because one thing too comes up is I don't know if he's still doing it or not, but I know that cruise lines do partnerships. But with Norwegian Cruise Line, they did a partnership with Michael Mondavi, Mondavi Wines.
Yeah, because that looked like that was a partnership. But it looked like it was a partnership between the wineries and maybe even the vineyards and the cruise ship, because it looked like they were actually going to the vineyards themselves in addition to having the wine experts on the cruise. So it looks like they were doing both.
They do things like that too, which is great. Once again, I know that they actually had done, Norwegian Cruise Line had done a partnership with Michael Mondavi. I met him a couple times on the ship, on their newest ships. It was great because it was called the Cellars. They had wine tastings things too. Really, really great. He was on board the christenings, which is great.
Yeah, that's really great. I got two more. One of them I'll use to close out, but I got one more that's a slightly longer one that you might want to see, since you mentioned that during your presentation, and that was about Experience in Alaska. So let's check out Experience in Alaska.
Yes.
When you sail deep into Alaska's dramatic landscape, amid towering mountains, pristine forests, and majestic glaciers, you'll discover a rugged beauty unlike anywhere else on Earth. An Alaskan cruise with Celebrity takes you on an adventure of a lifetime. Get close to wildlife, embrace the great outdoors, and uncover the rich culture and history of the last frontier. As you sail through the misty haze of Disenchantment Bay, you'll find yourself surrounded by nature's drama at every corner. Step outside onto your veranda and marvel at the ever-changing backdrops of jagged, snowy mountains and cascading waterfalls as you approach glaciers taller than skyscrapers. The Hubbard Glacier is the largest tidewater glacier in North America. Admire its beauty from the many open spaces on board, or embark on a wilderness exploration tour to get even closer to this natural wonder. Navigate through an icy labyrinth of icebergs and marvel at the glacier's extraordinary calving displays. A journey through the narrow fjords of Endicott Arm will end with a show-stopping visit to Dawes Glacier, an impressive structure standing 600 feet tall and half a mile wide. A Celebrity cruise takes you to several historic port cities, each with their own unique charm and impressively preserved history. Wander through the quaint seaside towns flanked by colorful buildings and discover the deep connection of Native Alaskans to the land through their storytelling, totems, and art. Whether you're traveling to Alaska for an adrenaline-filled adventure, or you prefer simply sitting back, relaxing, and taking in stunning landscapes, Celebrity offers shore excursions tailored to every type of traveler. Soar over peaks and valleys in a helicopter to land atop a glacier where you'll meet friendly husky dogs and learn how to be a musher, or trek past waterfalls in the icy blue wonderland. Board the White Pass and Yukon Route Railroad and admire the passing waterfalls, mountains, and valleys. Join a whale watching tour to catch a glimpse of these gentle giants in their natural habitat, or hike forest trails on the lookout for bald eagles and grizzly bears. All this adventure can work up an appetite, and you'll have plenty of mouth-watering choices in Alaska, from sizzling reindeer sausages to delicious king crab and freshly caught salmon. Head even deeper into Alaska by adding an exciting land adventure to your cruise. A cruise tour with Celebrity will take you inland to cities like Anchorage and the wild Denali National Park. You'll stay in authentic lodges and travel remote roads and railways in deluxe motor coaches and luxurious trains. Experience our acclaimed Alaska cruises and take your sense of wonder to new heights. Adventure awaits when you sail with Celebrity Cruises.
That's who I sailed with to Alaska myself years ago.
Yep.
It was an amazing experience, and I'm so glad I want to go back there too. Because Skagway's a small little town, but and I did the White Pass Railroad. It was beautiful, but I saw whales the first night. We're sailing out, and just an extraordinary experience. Definitely.
Sounds like a great experience. I'm gonna bounce off, let you close out with whatever you got, and I got one more commercial that we'll close out when we are totally done. But if there's anything else that you want to say before we wrap everything up, but definitely great conversation and always good information that you're providing. As we know, good shit happens.
Great, it does happen. Yes, good ship happens. Oh, one thing that I forgot to mention too is cruise lines. They do wonderful things, and something just came up this week because Carnival Cruise Line actually, rescued some people on, they run some kind of cargo type thing in their ship term, but they rescued some people, which is great too. But once again, cruise lines do wonderful things to help people, and they help people with that too. And just keep that in mind too. Once again, it could alter the cruise ship's itinerary, but if they get a call from the Coast Guard, whatever can help out, they do that too. And people need to be aware of that too. And even when they've done different donations, we've had hurricanes hit in the Caribbean, other areas too. They donate things, supplies, whatever. So definitely keep that in mind too, because once again, it goes back to the really positive ways that cruise lines have a positive impact. Another good example, good ship happens, but also with the way that cruise lines are changing their standards as far as how they operate their ships, liquefied natural gas. With Sun Princess, she is going to be, I think, operating on liquefied natural gas, which cuts the impact, of course. And we're seeing that the cruise industry itself, they want to go to net zero by 2050, and cruise lines are really jumping in advance to do this more than ever too. So once again, another example about how we want to share things that the cruise lines are doing in a real positive way. It's another part of my Good Ship Happens focus too, and why I love doing this show. But definitely keep it in mind and keep the wonderful things in mind too, as far as planning for your next trip. And there's so many options out there. For instance, next trip, you want to do maybe a Christmas market cruise. A good way to go would be to do a river cruise line. I mentioned several. Also, cruise lines have their own special holiday sailings. They decorate the ship in advance, which is great to see too. And also, Alaska's gorgeous to see. And they want to go back. Another one that's really, really very, very popular, and we'll talk more about that in a future episode, is with the Antarctic cruises. They have really hit a hot button with different people. With the cruise lines that go there, they are very, very small ships because of the requirements needed too. I know that usually with one cruise line, it's 100 guests, that's it, period. But just Antarctica is something I can focus on later on too, because once again, it's a great way to see one part of the world we're not aware of before so much, and it's really taken off. Once again, there are some luxury cruise lines that do, they specialize in this as far as experiences too. So definitely keep it in mind for the future. Right now, it's getting kind of cold, of course. I think going in the Caribbean would be fun to do too. But definitely keep in mind, Alaska cruise season starts usually the first part of May, goes through the first part of September. Then they pull up. But it's a great way to really experience beautiful areas there too, because once again, it's part of the United States. So definitely keep it in mind. Okay. And Mark, you said you want to end up with one last short video. That'd be great. To end a Good Ship Happens.
Attention, may I have your attention, please? This is Captain Luciano speaking from the navigational bridge. Apologies for coming directly to the suite, but I have a very important announcement to make. As of 10:05 a.m. of today's date, November 14, 2023, the Seven Seas Grandeur is officially the latest addition to our fleet. A new gem among a fleet of an unparalleled beauty, a true statement of this company vision. But you are here because you are among the best, led by great leaders. Dear crew, it is now time to start doing what we do best, which is to deliver the most unrivaled experience to our precious guests. And may our ship sail proudly and safely throughout the seven seas. Thank you so much.
Wow.